An ice storm doesn't feel like bad weather, it feels like the world just switches off. And the scariest part is this, it's not the storm that gets you, it's day 3, day 7, when nothing works and nobody can reach you. Welcome back to Charlie Survival. If you want practical UK survival and preparedness without the fantasy nonsense, subscribe. And comment your area in the UK right now, Cornwall, London, Manchester, wherever you are. I read them all because your location changes what you should do. Right now in America, there's a major ice storm hitting parts of the country and I've been watching the advice going round. But this video isn't about doom scrolling the news, it's about one simple question. If the UK got hit with a proper ice event or a brutal winter power cut, could you keep your house livable for a week? In this video, I'm going to give you the one mistake people make that turns a warm house into a freezer, the 5 priorities that actually matter when the power goes out, and the warm room system that stops you burning through supplies like an idiot. And I'll also show you how to build a harbour box setup so you're not improvising in panic. Quick safety note, because I'd rather you be prepared than be a headline. Never bring a barbecue indoors, never run a petrol generator inside. If you're using any fuel burning heat source, carbon monoxide can kill you quietly. Let's prep and survive smart and stay alive. Why ice is different. Most people hear ice storm and think, oh, it's just slippery, I'll stay in. But ice storms aren't just slippery, they're heavy, and that weight does something nasty. It attacks the infrastructure. Here's the scary bit. Snow looks dramatic, ice is quiet, right up until it isn't. You can get a normal looking street and then snap, trees come down, power lines come down, roads block, and suddenly the entire area is in a slow motion crisis. Now you might think the UK doesn't get that, just like we thought we don't get the Northern Lights, but the UK absolutely gets freezing rain, black ice and storm systems that knock out power. It definitely feels like the weather's changing on this little island. And if your house relies on electricity for heating, cooking, water pumps, even your phone signal, you're not inconvenienced, you're in a survival situation, just wearing a hoodie when it happens. And this leads to the most important idea in the whole video, the thing that decides whether you cope or crumble. Your goal is not to heat your house, it's to keep your body warm and your home functional with the least fuel possible. That's the mindset shift. Now let's build the plan. Because if you get the next part wrong, you can have supplies and still lose control by day 2. The one mistake. The one mistake people make in power cuts is this: they try to live normally in abnormal situations. They walk around the whole house, they keep opening doors, they heat spaces instead of heating people, they waste battery on random stuff, they cook like it's a normal Tuesday, and they burn through their options fast. Here's the better way, and it sounds almost too simple. Switch your home into winter ship mode, like you're on a boat in a storm. You don't use the entire ship. You use one safe, efficient cabin, you lock everything else down, and you rotate tasks like a routine. So the payoff here is this: if the power goes, you immediately choose a warm room and your entire week becomes easier. Not comfy, but controlled. And that warm room isn't vibes, it's a system. Now I'm going to give you the 5 priorities, but pay attention because most people do them in the wrong order. The 5 priorities. Priority 1, warmth. Heat the human, not the house. Let's start with the obvious, warmth, but not how warm can I get the house, more like how do I stop my core temperature dropping while using almost nothing. Here's the trick most people don't realise, but if you surf in Cornish winters, you figure it out pretty quickly in the first duck dive. Your head and feet are battery drains. If they're cold, your whole body loses the fight. So your warm room kit starts with layers, dry socks, a hat, and a serious sleeping setup. And then the actual move is this: you make one nest where heat stays trapped even if the rest of the house is freezing. A tent indoors can help some people, sure, but you don't need fancy. You need small space plus insulation plus routine. Warmth isn't about being cozy. Warmth is about staying above the danger line without wasting your energy. By the way, if you want the exact kind of stuff I'm talking about, I've got my Charlie Survival Amazon kit list linked in the description. It's basically a shortcut so you're not guessing what works. Go check it after the video, you'll thank yourself later. Priority 2, water, because taps don't always stay reliable. Water is where the modern world illusion disappears because we assume the tap will work, but in extended disruptions, pumping and pressure can fail in certain situations, and even when it doesn't, you might not want to rely on normal. So here's your move. Before the worst hits, you create stored water and a usage plan. Not just drinking, also basic hygiene, because being cold and dirty for a week messes with morale fast. If you have water, you have options. If you don't, you start making risky decisions. Priority 3. Food. No cook first, hot food second. This is where people get it backwards. They focus on cooking like it's MasterChef, but the smart move is 72 hours of no cook food first, because the first few days are chaos. Sorting the house, staying warm, checking neighbours, conserving power. Then you add simple hot food if it's safe and ventilated and you're set up properly. Also, here's a fridge reality. Once the power goes, that food clock starts ticking. So your routine becomes eat the fridge food first, then the pantry. Food isn't about nice. Food is about steady calories that keep you thinking clearly. Priority 4. Light and power. You're not bored, you're blind. People think power cuts are annoying because they can't watch telly. No, power cuts are dangerous because you lose light, information and coordination. Light keeps you safe, a charged phone keeps you connected, and knowing what's happening stops panic. So you want a reliable torch and head torch, a power bank strategy and a don't waste it rule. Because if you drain your power on day 1, day 4 feels a lot darker. Power is not entertainment, power is control. Priority 5. Cash and fuel, the boring one that saves you. This is the bit people laugh at until it happens. If card machines are down, if systems are flaky, if petrol stations can't pump, cash in a fuel tank can be the difference between we'll be fine and we're trapped. Not because you're going to go on some mad mission, but because if you need to relocate, pick up supplies, help family or get somewhere safer, you don't want to be negotiating with a fuel gauge on empty. Cash and fuel don't feel exciting, they feel grown up, which is exactly why they work. Now we've got the priorities, but the real magic is how you run the house. The next part is what stops you burning through everything. The warm room system, the UK winter. Here's the system. Your warm room is your home survival core. Step 1. Choose the room. Smallest practical room, fewer windows if possible, somewhere you can safely spend long periods. Step 2. Reduce heat loss. You're not renovating, you're blocking drafts and closing off the house. Step 3. Create a routine. Morning. Quick check-in, water plan, food plan. Day. One person does tasks, the rest conserve heat. Night. Everyone becomes a battery. You sleep, you recharge, you stay warm. And the secret ingredient nobody talks about, morale. Because when you're cold, everything feels harder, so you create tiny wins. Warm drink if possible, dry socks, clean hands, a simple game, a checklist. Because a calm home makes better decisions. This is how you survive a week, not by being tough, by being efficient. Don't get injured, the silent killer. Now, the most underrated prep in any ice event is this: don't get injured, because help might not reach you quickly. Ambulances struggle, roads block, people are stretched. So if it's icy, slow down, use handrails, grit or salt where you can, avoid unnecessary trips. It's not macho to send it, it's smart to stay unbroken. In ice conditions, your best survival is simple: staying upright. So let's lock this in. Ice storms and winter power cuts aren't just weather, they're an infrastructure problem that turns into a home survival problem. Remember, don't try to live normally, pick your warm room, run the 5 priorities: warmth, water, food, light and power, cash and fuel, and don't get injured doing something avoidable. If you do those things, you go from panic to control. Smash the like button if you found this useful, and again, comment down below your location so I can tailor UK specific advice, and subscribe if you want more calm UK realistic survival and preparedness that actually works here. If you want the full gear baseline, the Charlie Survival Amazon kit list is in the description. That's the easiest way to build your harbour box without overthinking it. But listen, everything in this video is useless if you don't have a proper plan for long power cuts in the UK. So watch this video on screen now all about UK specific food and how to store it correctly. Click it and I'll see you over there.